don't even write rhymes. The super villain, he's never been a nice guy. You only live once, you never really die twice. I'm trying to educate your black mind. You smoking hookah while we battle with cannibalistic white guys. A true professional, I murder every challenger, cause all the raps they spit are whack as fuck.
Welcome back, guys, on our podcast. This will be our very first recording without introduction. This will be our very first recording year content here too. We'll be led by Hlomla, Mdala, and over to you, sir.
Molweni, guys. Today we're looking at how history affected the modern South Africa. So we'll be looking at the apartheid, divisions among the black people, white dependency, illiteracy, black professions versus white professions, the state of affairs in South Africa, the nationalization of mines, whatever the case may be.
Okay.
What was the main goal of the apartheid? The main goal of the apartheid regime was to separate black people along tribal lines in order to weaken their unified power. I understand Ngqoba tribes already existed during that time, right? Before apartheid. But they made sure Uti, black people, Tswana people, Xhosa people, Zulu people don't unify to have that black power.
That weakens them.
And it because they are not unified.
Yes.
The word apartheid itself means apartness. This means that there was a split between the races. Blacks were separated from the Indians, from the coloureds, and from the whites. And during that time, the blacks were the least important race of all time. Each of these races held its own level of importance during the times of apartheid. The legislation was used to racially segregate, politically and economically discriminate non-whites during the times of the white supremacist rule. To use the legislation because it made the separation legal because they were using the legislation during that time. So we're focusing on the education of the black child during the apartheid regime. The apartheid regime set different standards of education amongst the races. The Bantu Education Act of 1953 was formed and it provided the basis of creating state-run schools. In these schools, the black learners were trained for manual labor and manual jobs that were deemed to be pro-black at that time. As jobs include construction workers, all those manual jobs. There are many jobs that were existent during those days, but due to racial segregation, ended up being filled by unqualified people due to white supremacy. The white people made sure Uti, every white person is employed during that time. Whether you are qualified or not qualified, you must have a job, proper salary to have a stable life. Okay. The apartheid regime had a role to play in the South Africa that we live in now. However, the current dispensation has also failed to do its job of reforming South Africa so that it becomes a country that is suitable for all who live in it. The current government has been in power for more than 2 decades, close to 3 decades, both. Yet African people are still living in inhumane conditions. This is extremely concerning, or rather disgusting, as the people continue to vote for them. This simply means that the people are entrusting them with their lives and they simply steal from the same people that appoint them to these positions. The education department is one of the most crucial departments, I believe, to the development of the country. It makes or breaks what type of workforce or intellects that the country will get. The curriculum from grade 1 to grade 12 plays a pivotal role in the development of the learner's brains and capabilities. Failure to have a progressive curriculum will result in poor result of learners, students, workers, and less intellects. So by Banana Republic will be led by non-thinkers as Uchuchu, Etanuguchu. The apartheid regime built a curriculum that will destroy the black child, and the system truly worked at that time. It truly worked. Our brains are programmed into believing that the white is supreme and the black is inferior.
Okay. Yeah. No, you just answered the question before I even asked.
The democratic government has done too little to reverse these effects of the education system, the apartheid. They keep on decreasing the pass rate in order to get more students out of the school system. That is creating a problem, because we're just chasing people out of the school system, which means we've got less intellects, we've got less abantu but yeah. The apartheid destroyed the non-whites economically. They took the land, they took over the banks, and they are still in control of more than 80% of the economy in South Africa.
Including the land.
Which means that they only gave the blacks the parliament and jalo, because all we are happy to do is dulo, nemali, and power.
While our people struggle.
Yeah, you can go. We will gladly sell out our own people for money. Yes.
That's correct. The democratic government has again continued to fail to assist the non-whites, black in particular, to be economically developed. The only development we see these days is the enrichment of the comrades through the tender system, which benefits very few to non-South Africans. To no South Africans, sorry.
Just a question before you move on. So, how do you get rid of that mentality, the black inferiority in black people's mind?
Look, that is a psychological problem.
Oh.
That is a psychological problem which needs to be addressed by us as black people. By starting to teach abantwana bethu from a young age, kuti, even if you are black, you are powerful.
Yes.
You can do it. You are clever. You are what. Ungathi umntana xa siza kuwe uthi yo asuka wena uzaqashwa nguYan van Riebeeck. That is not the type of mentality we want. Start from a young age. Andithi?
Yeah. Yes.
Nawe xa ukhula mazuthengelwa yona odola abamhlophe njalo njalo.
Okay. Yonke
into emhlophe.
Even young izinto associated with izinto ezimbi. They say black.
Exactly.
Black.
Now when you take away from la black school community yako.
Yes.
Yeah. It starts from there. Thinking black is bad, white is good. Okay. This is because all of the money is meant for the people ends up being squabbled by corrupt individuals who do not value the people of South Africa, but value themselves. Because the people, all they care about is themselves. The apartheid regime played a big role in the underdevelopment of the black child. This happened through its legislations and all ways of doing things. This modus operandi of the regime was to destroy the non-white people in the country of South Africa. The new dispensation came into effect in 1994 and came in the train of changing things. But all they did is they created more of a mess more than
it was
changing things, because they created a dependent state. They created wena uhleli kwakho ulindele 350, uhleli kwakho ulindele child grant, uhleli kwakho you are waiting for everything.
Yes,
you are waiting for the RDP, you are waiting free water, njalo njalo. That is,
so they contributed to the victim mindset.
The what?
The victim mindset.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. However, there were little changes that were done by the government at the India. This does not mean we do not recognize the work that the government has already done.
Yeah.
However, there is still a lack of change in the systematic segregation of black people. Systematic segregation through the banks, through business. you won't get it. There are less chances about Ufumana than it is systematic, Landelian. It's in the system. It's been set where the black child will remain inferior. The education sector is one of the systematic suppressions that is faced by the black people. It is therefore prevalent to bring reforms to the education sector in order to ensure that the people are uplifted in South Africa. The education sector is one of the most important keys that can be used to unlock the doors of black empowerment in South Africa. Ibalulekile ke ngoku uba even though the effects of apartheid are still upon us, we as a black people should empower, uplift, and unify in order for us to get out of this shenanigans. This mess.
You know, like in any time you give a creative, what white people say, I won't mention the name Hlomla though, is that they say that, for example, like apartheid happened, like, okay, like we've been free for 32 years now. So like why are we still complaining about the apartheid? Why are we still on about izinto, whereas for example Tina, we weren't even there at that time. So like why izinto the apartheid still this affect ngoku? Yeah, understand?
Because it's systematic.
Like why sikhalaza is
First of all, we need to look at by apartheid. How long was it in power?
Okay.
Mdala, ne? I think more than 60 years, ne? Or close to 60 years. On a point of correction, apartheid only lasted for 46 years.
Okay. So like still, okay, like why? Like we get this question a lot, but now why are we still complaining? But okay, okay. So like like I get this question a lot, man. Okay, apartheid happened like 32 years ago. Like, why are we still complaining apartheid? Why are we still bringing up apartheid to today's problems? You know, like why are we still in the past?
Because its effects are still with us. Some of the things that we live amongst are still results of apartheid.
Okay.
Are still results of apartheid.
Oh yeah, I can. Okay, guys. Well, that's it for today. Hope you learned a lot. And if you have anything extra to say, your opinion, please do contribute and ask questions. You know, yeah, guys. Thanks. Bye.
Peace out.
Stay tuned for more, though. You know, and we'll be discussing more of this topic more and more and more. Okay, yeah. Just so by the way, you were here with Hlomla. You were here with Limyoli, Unati. Sim to the THA. Uprakabza, Uprambi. Yes. If you have any topic suggestion that we can tackle, please do put it in the comment sections, and yeah, we'll adhere to that.
This is Let's Talk signing out.
Yeah, this is Let's Talk signing out. Educating your black minds, guys.
I eat that pussy like it's bite-sized. Cause all I do is talk a lot of shit and I don't even write rhymes. The super villain has never been a nice guy. You only live once.